may be wondering why we're here at this location. When Austin started his scouting, of course he was a Tiger, but when he moved up to Weeblos, this is the location that the boys used to come and camp. So we've come home. We've come full circle. And we really appreciate y'all coming to celebrate with us. At this time, I'd like to call Mr. Farrell up.
With the authority vested in me by the National Office of the Boy Scouts of America, the Longhorn Council, Tonka District, and Troop 437's Troop Committee, I declare this Eagle Court of Honor now in session. Now would you all rise as we prepare to receive the colors. Color Guard. Scout attention. Color Guard advance. Color Guard halt. Color Guard prepare to post the colors. Color Guard post the colors. Scout salute. May everybody please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hands down. Scout sign. Would everybody please join me in the Scout law? A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Would everybody please join me in the Scout oath? On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty, to guide my country, to obey the Scout law, help other people at all times, keep myself to responsible, and completely conform to industry. Hands down. Color Guard return to post. Audience, you may now be seated. I'd like to introduce Mr. Kogel, who will now be the Master of Ceremonies for this Eagle Court of Honor. Kogel.
Thank you, Mr. Farrell. I want to start by thanking you all for coming. And on behalf of Mark and Renee Eiserman, I'd like to welcome all of you to this very special occasion. Many scouts set out on the trail of the Eagle, but very few have the perseverance and the determination to carry it through. Austin is one of those scouts, and we're here to honor his great achievement. To further help recognize our Eagle candidate, many prominent citizens throughout the country have written and offered Austin many wonderful acknowledgments, and those are displayed on the table to your left, my right. So far, he's received word from almost every level of government, local, state, and federal. And as you look through those materials, you'll see a letter from President George W. and Mrs. Bush, a letter from the Governor of the state of Texas, Rick Perry, a letter in congressional recognition from the U.S. House of Representatives, Michael Burgess, and a letter from the Denton Mayor, Mark Burrows. There are two flags displayed on the table as well. The Texas Sergeant of Arms has flown the United States and Texas flags over the Texas State Capitol. They flew them on Thursday, June 26th, which is the date that Austin scheduled and passed his Eagle Board of Review. The flags, as well as certificates, are prominently shown on the display table. On July 17th, the Corinth City Council presented Troop 437 with the Community Service Award, recognizing Austin's Eagle Scout project. which was trail maintenance at the Elm Fork Trail in Corinth, Texas. There's also a letter from the Bishop of the Fort Worth Diocese, Kevin Van. After the ceremony, and as we eat dinner, you're welcome to look at all of those awards and recognitions in the scrapbook that documents Austin's achievements through his scouting career. As an Eagle candidate, one of Austin's biggest achievements was the completion of his Leadership Service Project. And here to speak a few words on Austin's behalf about the project is Mark Cohen from Troop 437.
Good evening. Austin, he refurbished a trail and he got his picture in the newspaper. And those of you who know me know that I can't just stop with just a couple of sentences. The project that Austin undertook was very significant. It consisted of 2 phases, well actually 3 phases. He prepared a packet that he got passed through troop level and then district level. Hello, Putt. And with the approval of his project, he then embarked on a car wash. And successfully completing the car wash, we all went out to the Old Alton Bridge Trail and had fun with power tools. But it's really much more than that. The Eagle Scout project it's symbolic. It's another challenge, another opportunity for a young man to accomplish something, to plan, to secure the resources, and to feel successful in his accomplishment. And that accomplishment was recognized the other night, wasn't it, Austin?
Yeah.
It sure was. I think that your project is somewhat symbolic. The trail that you worked on symbolizes the trail that you will pursue throughout your life. It took a lot of planning. And then you had to stick with your plan. You had to recruit people to help you with your plans. And I think that all the people here that have touched you and touched your scouting career, they can take pride in being part of your team and allowing you to use your vision to establish a mission, to pursue the success of that mission, which is community service. If you think about it, the Scout Law, thrifty encompasses also doing service to the environment, okay? And you accomplished that. And you also used courteous. You led many of us here on a hot morning with chiggers, with really neat power tools. You led us on a trail, and I think that you can feel confident that you were successful. Well, the same thing's going to happen, Austin, in your lifetime, okay? You're going to find, as we found in that trail, that there were certain areas that you just could not pass through. And so we had to divert that trail around, right? Yeah, and we successfully created a nice way to get through that area without having to walk through the swamp. Similarly, you used our collective effort and developed a team. And we all depended on you for leadership, and you successfully led us. You took care of keeping us away from snakes and bugs and keeping us from harm in the heat. And we all put our trust in you, and we feel like you delivered for us. And I think that it was a very significant accomplishment. The other thing that I found interesting about your project is when you went out there, you thought there were, 15, 17 tires, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think you found otherwise. Monster tires, an abundance of tires. I think it was more like 53 tires, 53 tires, okay? You never know what you're gonna encounter, Austin, along the trail, okay? And when you find new obstacles, you figure out how to change your plan to be successful. And I think the city's recognition the other night was very fitting for the accomplishments that you made. So I just want to congratulate you on your project. I think it was very well executed, and I think that we can all be proud of you. And the last thing I'll say is, it's always nice to see Scout pictures and comments in the newspaper, okay? And I think your leadership,
allowed the Boy Scouts of America to be publicized in a positive light recently, and I think you should take real pride in that as well. So, thank you for a great job, Austin.
Another part of what Austin had to do to become an Eagle Scout is pass a board of review, in which he had to answer a number of very, very difficult questions about his entire scouting career and what it meant to him. And Carol Petula from Troop 437 is here to say a few words about what it was like to be with Austin in that board of review. So, Mrs. Petula, if you'll come forward.
Scout spirit refers to the effort you make to live up to the ideals of scouting. The oath, the law, the motto, and the slogan serve as everyday guidelines for a good life. Austin, be prepared. That's the motto of Boy Scouts. Be prepared for what? Someone once asked Lord Baden Powell. He's the founder of Scouting, for those of you who may not know. Why, for any old thing, said Lord Baden Powell. The training that you received in this troop, Austin, will help you live up to the Scout motto. When someone has an accident, you're prepared because of first aid instruction and emergency preparedness. But Baden Powell wasn't thinking of just being ready for emergencies. His idea was that all Scouts should prepare themselves to become productive citizens, set goals, accomplish them, and to give happiness to other people. He wanted each Scout to be ready, in mind and in body, for any struggles, to meet with a really strong heart whatever challenges might lie ahead, like having to do some extra stuff on a project, or being so prepared with your project that we could haul off all that extra stuff, that we could take on whatever happened, even if the troop committee chair won't share the power tool with me, and I have to. You're prepared for all of those things. His idea, he was so prepared actually, that the city did commend our troop because of the work that we did through his project for the city. On the night of his Eagle Board of Review, Austin was prepared. He was sharp. He had a clarity of vision to be prepared. Kind of like when he presented it to the committee. I'll tell you, Mr. Farrell and let me see, a couple of you other guys, they were just letting you have it left and right when we were at the troop committee meeting about your project. You were cool and collected, and you answered every question. Now at the project, for the Board of Review, same kind of thing going on, except it was, Mr. Schmidt and Kogel, myself, and Mr. Leonard from the district. He had a lot of questions for you, and this was a long Board of Review. Really long, and with the three of us having never sat on one of those, we kind of asked a lot of questions, and we had a lot of fun sharing stories and talking about scouting. But Mr. Leonard he really had numerous questions for you, very detailed questions, and I was impressed. I was really impressed, Austin, with your keen answers and your correct answers, and your ability to retrieve details that you may not know may come up again, but you knew it. You knew them. I don't know how you knew them all, but you knew them, and it was great. I really liked the way you were able to verbalize. And we're successful because you were prepared. Be prepared for life, Austin. Live happily without regret, knowing that you've done your best. That's what the Scout motto means. Live that motto every day of your life. We all expect that. Thank you. Thank you.
So Austin put together a project and executed it. passed his board of review. He did all of the merit badge requirements. He worked his way through the ranks of scouting to get to this point. And now we are recognizing his achievement as an Eagle Scout, which carries with it a whole new world of responsibility and obligation. We'd like Bob Smallholtz from Troop 437 to step forward and talk a little bit about those obligations, those responsibilities that go with the rank of Eagle Scout for Troop 437 and Boy Scouts overall. Bob?
Okay. Thanks, Mike. Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Again. Renee and Mark, thank you for inviting us. You picked an awesome site for this ceremony. We're vaguely aware of what an Eagle Scout is. Everybody wants to be an Eagle Scout, and it conjures up a real high expectation of an individual. They say, well, he's no Eagle Scout. That kind of sets a standard for an individual. Or when they do say that, well, he is an Eagle Scout, that sets a whole different standard. And it's interesting that every young man at 10 or 11 years old that walks into his first Boy Scout meeting has the opportunity to achieve the rank of Eagle Scout. Every single young man. Unfortunately, only about 2% of those that actually walk through that door on that first night actually achieve the rank. Is it hard? Yeah. It's not an easy task. Is it a mysterious thing? Not at all. The recipe is right here. And if you talk to the scouts in the troop, and they say, well, how do I do this, Mr. Smallholtz? The answer always is, it's in the book. All right? And so in order to reach the rank of Eagle from 10 years old to 15 or 16 or 17 or 17 and 9/10 in some cases, it's in the book. All right? Along that path, the path that Mr. Cohen talked about, and our path that we took care of, a young man that makes it to the rank of Eagle will have spent at least a month sleeping outside. He'll have mastered 12 different knots, and I'll talk about knots in just a little while. He'll have mastered the skills to render first aid. He'll become a good citizen through several merit badges at 3 different levels: community, nation, and the world. He'll have to learn to take care of himself from a fitness standpoint. So he's either got to go hiking a lot, he's got to go swim a whole bunch, or he has to go and ride a bicycle a long way.